So I have already tried to film this video 3 times now. I guess I'm just a terrible YouTuber, but my camera died and then I completely lost all the footage some other way. So anyway, here we go again, time number 4. This is going to be the time for real because I'm filming it on my Canon. I have been using the GoPro, which I haven't really mastered using it to vlog or film videos yet. But I will get better at that. I will get more comfortable with it, and its battery, because apparently its battery life is a lot shorter than I had anticipated. The entire reason I started filming it on my GoPro and didn't just film on the Canon in the first place was because I was taking Andrew for a walk, and I wanted to go ahead and kill 2 birds with 1 stone, which was get a walk in, maybe possibly get him down for a nap, and also get this video filmed. But that didn't quite work out the way that I wanted it to. I didn't bring the Canon because I was absolutely terrified that I was going to drop it and shatter the whole entire thing, which happened to me just the other day when we were vlogging our Pokemon hunting downtown. I didn't really have a case on my phone. I did have a case on my phone, but it was not a protective case in the slightest. And I dropped my phone on the concrete and it shattered the entire screen. Here's my phone, the condition of my phone. As you can see, the entire screen is completely ruined, but fortunately it does still work. It just, when I mess with it and stuff like that, little tiny pieces of glass actually come out and like drop on the ground. You can see here where pieces have started to come out. So I'm gonna be switching this over to probably one of our old iPhones this weekend because yeah, I can't use that screen at all. So anyway, here we go again with this video. A few days ago, I started reading a book by Elizabeth Pantley, and it's called The No Price Sleep Solution. And the version that I'm reading is actually a version geared toward parents of toddlers and preschoolers. First, I'm going to tell you guys the main reasons why I started reading this book and why I am implementing a sleep training strategy with my son. First and foremost, I don't like calling it sleep training because I don't feel like I'm training him. I feel like he's learning to sleep on a schedule that we deem appropriate. There are 3 things that I would like to accomplish with this. 1, I would like him to sleep throughout the entire night. 2, I would like him to sleep in his own bed. And 3, I would like to have some alone time with my husband between the time that he goes to bed and the time that we go to bed. So currently, the situation that we're looking at right now is we all go to bed at the same time. Andrew sleeps with me, and he goes to sleep by nursing, and he nurses all throughout the night. So according to the book, you actually start by logging your child's sleep. I decided to try to log 2 or 3 days of his natural sleep that we are at right now. So last night was the first night that I started logging. We lay down at 10 o'clock p.m. He fell asleep nursing, and then he was up. So I'm only counting the times that he wakes up are the times that I know that he wakes up, because like I said, he does nurse throughout the night, and I'm not consciously aware of all the times that he may wake up to nurse. So I'm just counting his wake ups currently as the times that I have to get up and reposition or something like that. So he was up 4 times last night. I would like to become more in tune with his sleep and determine how much he needs. I am going to address the most commonly suggested sleep training method, and that is the cry it out method. And the cry it out, when I say cry it out, I'm encompassing a very broad sense of sleep training. And the cry it out method is essentially allowing your child to cry in their crib in the hopes that they will learn to rely on themselves and to self-settle and self-soothe and get themselves to sleep. I would say that I was recommended the cry it out method for the very first time when Andrew was about 4 months old. And I wasn't even looking for advice regarding his sleep or anything like that. I was, just simply talking about his sleep. Maybe, I don't remember the exact scenario that it was, but I do remember that I was suggested at about 4 months old to just put him in his crib and let him cry. And at the time, I had never really, before that, given much thought to sleep training or things like that. So when they told me that this was the way that you need to get your kids to sleep, I'm not gonna lie, I was sort of shocked. I was like, so you mean that the only way that I can teach him to sleep on his own in his crib is just by letting him cry for 2 to 3 to 4 hours at a time? And so I didn't really give it much thought because like I said, was shocked. I was appalled that that was even suggested to me with this tiny little new baby that I had in my arms. And that was the end of my attention that I gave to the Cry It Out method. Throughout the first year of his life, anytime that I would really ask about sleep or sort of inquire about ways that people got their kids to go to sleep at night, the reigning champion of suggestions was the Cry It Out method. It was suggested more often than anything else, and it was praised as the literally only way that you could get your kid to sleep at night. So from the way that people were making it sound, it was either I put him in his crib, lock the door, put some earbuds in, and ignore him for the night, or I will be bed sharing for the rest of my life, or at least the rest of his childhood. So at around a year old, I think I finally decided that I was ready for him to sleep in his own bed. I wasn't quite ready to stop nursing. He wasn't quite ready to stop nursing. And so I didn't want to focus on weaning. I wanted more to focus on introducing him to his crib, because prior to this, he had literally never even spent 1 second in his crib. It just sat there. Around a year old, I started introducing him to his crib, and that's when I really realized how difficult getting your kid to sleep in their own bed really, really was. He was up literally 30 to 45 minutes every time after I laid him down, and I had only started at nap time. I never even tried to put him in his crib at night, and I was already exhausted. That was the first time, I think, that I really thought in my mind that maybe letting him cry was the only way. Prior to this, I had already done extensive research on what the experts suggested regarding Cry It Out, and this isn't really a Cry It Out video, so I'm not really going to get into that. But I decided to take it a step further and get my own anecdotal type evidence by asking people on my Facebook, people in mom groups that I was a part of, and my own real life mom friends. I was a little disheartened though to realize that Cry It Out wasn't exactly the fix-all quick miracle that I had been led to believe that it was. When we got down to the nitty-gritty and I really started talking to these moms about their kids' sleep, I realized that everyone had sleep problems. Whether they were like me and they had never implemented any kind of sleep training, or whether they had gone full-blown extinction and let their kid, cry it out from 8 p.m. to 8 a.m., anytime in between, and they weren't going into their room. They were having problems with sleep as well. I was also really, really sad to hear that a lot of these people actually had to let their kid cry it out on more than one occasion. So you have these little blocks where you have to accept, they say you have to accept that your kid is going to cry for the first 2 to 3 nights. And usually by night 4 or 5, you can lay them down in their crib and they will maybe fuss a little, but generally go to sleep on their own. Not gonna lie, this definitely appealed to me, this idea. And so I started looking into it, and then I realized that a setback as simple as teething, or a cold, or a developmental leap, which causes a sleep regression, starts the process all over again. And there were times, where they would have to, every month or two, go through the crying it out process again. And I had come to terms with maybe I could work on and allow him to cry it out, one time, one block of 2 to 3 nights. But then when I realized that you have to deal with this and listen to this crying on several different occasions depending on what affects your child's sleep, I was completely turned off by the idea, and I just simply decided that allowing him to cry it out was not for my family. That was when I came across the No Cry Sleep Solution by Elizabeth Pantley. and I was super excited to start reading this book, and I am super duper excited to start implementing it into our sleeping in our life. First thing that I'm going to be implementing is a bedtime routine. And what I want to do is I want to make probably a weekly, maybe even bi-weekly, depending on how it goes, but I'm thinking weekly because this is a long-term solution, so this does take a little bit longer. I read that the No Cry Sleep solution can take about a month or two to actually start seeing the results that you want, but you have to stay firm and persistent, and the results will come. So my goal at the end of this, I just told you that last night was our first night. I didn't really implement anything. I just logged to sleep, like I said. Big Andrew gets up for work every day between 4:30 and 5 o'clock in the morning. I like to get up with him at the same time because I like to make his lunch, and I like to just spend a little time with him before he goes to work. For the day, he works 12-hour shifts, and he works 5 to 6 days a week most of the time, so he's gone a lot. So those times when we can get a morning just 30 to 45 minutes before he goes to work together, and we can get maybe an hour or two at night between when little Andrew goes to bed and when we go to bed, it will really make the difference, and it really will be a benefit to our marriage and a benefit to our family as a whole. So when I wake up around 4:30, 5 o'clock with Big Andrew, little Andrew also most mornings tends to wake up as well, because I get up and my movement or whatever tends to wake him up. So he has a whole block of time where he should be sleeping when he's not, because when he wakes up with me, he is up. Like this morning, for instance, when I was logging his sleep, he woke up at 5:13 this morning and didn't go back to sleep until 7:30. So that's a full, over 2 hours of sleep that he should be getting, that should not be disturbed. And if he's sleeping in his own bed, we won't have to worry about that. So, like I was saying, my goal at the end of this introduction of the No Cry Sleep solution is to have little Andrew going to bed in his own bed. He can still nurse before bed. I would, you have to introduce a routine, so I would like to still nurse him before bed, but I don't want to nurse him to sleep, if that makes sense. So my goal is to have him going to bed in his own bed an hour or two before Big Andrew and I do. And I want him to sleep all night. I would like him to, not have to nurse to sleep, and not have to rely on any kind of comfort to go to sleep, whether that be rocking or patting or rubbing his back or something like that. I would like him to be able to go to sleep on his own. I really want to teach him to learn to sleep is my goal. So, like I said, I will be making videos weekly, updating you on Andrew's sleep progress. Guys, this video is getting kind of long, but I just wanted to sort of touch on something that we are working on, and that is sleep, which is a huge topic in the parenting world. I firmly believe that a child can be taught to sleep without being left to cry. And I would like to, show you our own journey through this sleeping. I haven't finished the book, so I still do have quite a bit more reading to do. But right now, it's going to just be log week, and I'm really just going to be focusing on his sleep, his current sleep, and things that need to be changed, as well as finish reading the book. Next week, my next episode of this sort of series is going to be making my sleep plan and implementing that, and that will be starting next week, like I said. So anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope that you found this kind of informative and sort of just a rambling video, I guess. I don't really know what this is, but thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you, as always, for your support, and your thumbs up on the videos always mean a ton to me. Be sure to go ahead and hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, as well as stop by and visit my blog, which I will leave in the description below. I share all sorts of things on my blog, and I will also be sharing some of this journey on my blog written out that I'm not sharing here. So thank you guys so much, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.